Independent institutions charged with this responsibility must up their game, pull up their socks, and match up to the expectations of the people of Kenya. Honorable members, I have stated in the past and now reiterate today that in the face of undisputed evidence or credible information on corruption, I will not hesitate to take decisive action. Accordingly, I now direct, in furtherance of the principles enshrined in Article 10 of the Constitution on transparency and accountability, and based on new information provided by investigative agencies and partner nations, that the procuring agencies within the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum immediately cancel the ongoing procurement process for the JKIA expansion public-private partnership transaction, as well as Let me repeat this for clarity. I have said that because of the information that has been provided to us by partner nations, I have directed agencies within the Ministry of Transport and the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum to immediately cancel the ongoing procurement process for JKI expansion public-private partnership transaction, as well as the recently concluded Ketrago transmission in public partnership procurement. And immediately commence the process of onboarding alternative partners, because these are important projects. Honorable members, the work of taking our nation forward is our collective responsibility as citizens. For this reason, we value the contribution of all, whether they come in the form of support or encouragement, suggestion or proposal, criticism or protest. I believe that the most powerful component of leadership is listening and learning. Therefore, I engage with you and listen to all citizens, their elected leaders, public officers, administrators, teachers, and other professionals, learners and the youth, farmers, fisherfolk, pastoralists, traders, craftsmen, artisans, nurses, doctors, community health promoters, and workers across all types of sectors in every sector. I listen too to religious leaders, the civil society, industrialists, entrepreneurs, and professionals. Their contributions and everyone else's have my full attention and commitment to respond through positive, affirmative action that takes the national transformation endeavor forward. I commit to continue listening and acting, to engage, debate, deliberate with you, and to take your input into consideration in serving our nation. By design, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda is defined by its capacity to elicit feedback in the course of implementation and incorporate the same in making improvements and further progress. With every input from stakeholders, our ability to drive progress increases. By listening to you and to every Kenyan, I am able to serve this nation better. As we take part in this necessary discourse, I want to make one thing very clear. I'm fully invested in the success of the strategies, policies, programs, and projects under our plan. For this reason, I am committed to do all it takes and work with every willing Kenyan until we succeed, because failure is not an option. Given the challenges our nation has faced, it has become clear, honorable members, that overcoming these obstacles requires the collective energy, the collective wisdom, ideas, and goodwill of Kenyans of all political, cultural persuasions, religious beliefs, and walks of life. The wisdom of entrenching national unity and inclusivity as a national value in our Constitution is clearly evident. Our diversity is our source of power. And this moment in the history of our nation calls for radical collaboration to transcend our challenges. We do not have the luxury of magnifying our differences. It is time for all of us to pull together and usher the nation into the future of our dreams. With this in mind, I initiated extensive consultations with leaders from across all divides, public and private. Through these engagements, we resolved to reimagine unity and inclusivity and harness the full potential of our nation through bipartisanship, which culminated in the formation of the broad-based cabinet. The imperative to accommodate the contribution of leaders across the aisle inspired us to constitute the broad-based government, a partnership based on shared purpose and premise on a commitment to bring our national values into action to turbocharge the implementation of the transformation of our nation. Being a farmer myself, transformation is like farming. A lot of resources are invested in plowing the land and planting the seeds, after which there is nothing to see for all the work except stretches of bare earth. Impatience might lead to anxiety and lamentation of the waste of effort in seed buried in the earth. However, after a brief wait, seedlings sprout, requiring close attention, weeding, and patient tending into the crop that will be ready for harvest. So is economic transformation. It requires hard work, investment of resources, patience, and faith. We have planted the seed, and all over the field, it is beginning to sprout. While admittedly, there remains much to fulfill, our collective hope to deliver the national economic transformation that this nation so dearly deserves is on course. I am proud to declare that we have also made undeniable progress in building on the strong foundation laid in previous years and getting the national development project off the ground. Honorable members, from the reports that I have the honor to table for your consideration and debate, there is reason to be optimistic that our forward march is unstoppable and that our capacity and commitment to live and work by our national values and principles of governance are stronger than ever before. Our nation is a proud member of the international community, making our contributions to the global progress boldly and with great determination. We stand collectively facing the dawn with confidence that our expectations of a bright daylight is not in vain. In summary, honorable members, and all fellow citizens, the state of our nation is resilient. And now, honorable speakers, it is my pleasure to submit to Parliament the following 3 reports as required by the Constitution. Number 1 is the report on all measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of national values. The second, report on progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic of Kenya. And the third, report on the state of our security. Now, therefore, I hand over the reports to the Speaker of the Senate and to the Speaker of the National Assembly. Thank you all. God bless you, and God bless Kenya.
Order, honorable members, Your Excellency the President, the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, honorable members, distinguished guests, please be upstanding. Business of the day, and it is now time to adjourn. The Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2024 at 2:30 p.m. in the Senate chamber.
Honorable members of the National Assembly, the National Assembly now stands adjourned until Monday, 25th November 2024 at 2:30 p.m. May I also take this opportunity on Monday. I repeat, the National Assembly stands adjourned until Monday, 25th November 2024 at 2:30 p.m. May I take this opportunity to invite all honorable members and our guests to a reception at the Parliament courtyard. May I also request all of you honorable members and our guests to remain standing in your places until the procession of His Excellency the President and the speakers of the two houses leave the chamber.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, sorry for my messed up hair. I just woke up. I need to put my hoodie up. Excuse me. Hold on. All right. All right. All right. First of all, I'll be brief here. I won't stay for long. I have so much stuff to do. Hold on, let me fix my thing. All right, now we're in business. So, am I audible, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades? All right. Very quickly, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Pritpal Kaur, Gypsy Corner, Mariam Nakuona Pia. I just want to mention this. I didn't listen to the whole speech. I caught it halfway through, and it's the usual nonsense about democracy and constitution and corruption. And yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll make sure this is our performance, all this, all that nonsense. But I guess the highlight of the day was, highlight of the speech was when he mentioned that he will be canceling that whole deal with Adani. He didn't mention Adani, so let's note that he never mentioned Adani when he said, okay, the JKIA deal should be expunged or should be whatever. Again, I was keenly listening, but I never saw him contradict Wandai. Wandai basically, when he was being questioned or giving his whole whatever, he basically said that the Ketraco deal. Ketraco is also contracting with Adani. He said it will go on. We didn't know he was. This is what he basically said. I'm just paraphrasing, but we didn't know about the the Adani indictments in New York, whatever, by the U.S. government. So we'll just go on with their whole thing. So I would have loved to hear the president address that. So to me, I'm not buying this speech one bit. I don't trust Ruto. I don't trust what he said, because all I know, he will listen. These guys are crafty as heck. He was already bribed. So what they'll do is probably start a new company with a funny name that is actually owned by Adani, but the ownership part will be sketchy. They'll, give it a funny name, and Ruto will, use his influence as the president to contract with it, and they will keep on doing what they're doing. Okay, so I'm not buying this. Let's just go through what Wandai said, and which really made me mad, because given the news that came out, for those of you who've been living under the rock, the Adani owners and brothers, or whatever the case is, they have been, the feds came for them for corruption and other criminal activities that they're involved with. I mean, years ago, I had Australia kick them out because of the same things, bribes and, stuff like that. And when Kenyans were raising these issues on Twitter and telling the government, do not contract with Adani, Adani is corrupt, they turned a blind eye. Chirchir came out and told us that they haven't seen anything that will make them, want to, stop the contract with Adani. They went through. So let's just listen to. Here's Wandai, who was speaking earlier, I think, and he never, this is what really disturbed me about this whole thing. And I will get to Gypsy Corner's comment after this clip here. So let's get some context here, okay? All right, here it is. This is Wandai earlier, I believe. Okay, Wandai.
We had no knowledge of any other adverse matters that could have come to light maybe now or some months or weeks earlier. And therefore, we are proceeding on the basis of the outcome of the very rigorous due diligence exercise that was undertaken by the contracting authority in line with the law.
One more time.
We had no knowledge of any other adverse matters that could have come to light maybe now or some months or weeks earlier. And therefore, we are proceeding on the basis of the outcome of the very rigorous due diligence exercise that was undertaken by the contracting authority in line with the law.
That is a blatant lie from Wandai, saying that they had no knowledge, that they did their due diligence and everything seems okay. That's just a lie that Wandai I've been saying here, Wandai should be arrested. Wandai, or P. Wandai, is a criminal. He's a criminal. I don't know. Ruto's whole cabinet is a bunch of criminals. These are criminals, from Ruto himself to the janitor in State House, need to be arrested. All of them. These people are not to be trusted. How can you come in and tell us with a bold face, without batting an eyelid, facing the nation, telling them that we had no knowledge and that a due diligence was undertaken, and there was nothing that came up? I mean, all he had to do was type Adani scandals on YouTube. Even in India, where Adani comes from. They do not want Adani's company. They know about the corruption that happens there. Australia, Bangladesh. I mean, we can go on and on. Everywhere that Adani has been involved in, they've been accused of corruption and all sorts of things. So for this dunderhead to come on TV and tell the nation that, oh, we had no knowledge of prior cases of whatever. I mean, how many times did Martha Karua and Stephen Msioka posted clips about Adani controversial dealings in other countries? How many Twitter clips? And that relates to what my very good friend here, Gypsy Corner, is tweeting, saying, remember, at the beginning of the year, Adani brothers say that most Kenyan politicians will answer in courts if the deals don't go through because they already took the money, two being Ruto and Raila. Absolutely. If you see these people, these characters going on TV and trying to convince Kenyans, in spite of all these accusations, in spite of all the video clips that Kenyans were putting forward, exposing Adani, saying Adani does not have a good record as far as graft is concerned, even in delivery. Why were they still pushing through with this Adani deal? It is because they were paid. It makes sense now. There you go. Gypsy tells us here, remember, Switzerland charged the Adani with fraud 2 years ago. Kenyan MPs know the fraudsters brothers, the Adani, and they still went with the deal. So Kenyans were eager, couldn't wait to take the deal because they're just corrupt. They are willing to sell their mothers just because they want money. They don't care about the country. Tony Owiti says, they knew Adani was corrupt. They're trying to save face because of the heat Adani is facing from New York. Raila vouched for Adani, and that is reason enough to question his integrity. Raila's integrity was gone long time ago. Long time ago. This is not the first time. So, but I agree with you, Tony Owiti. They knew they were corrupt, and they're saving face. This is ridiculous. Wandai, I don't even know what to say. These people need to be arrested. Here it is. I wonder what impact that will make with somebody should question Raila Odinga in his candidacy for AUC chair position. Someone should go ask him, hey, you told us, you held a press conference and told us that Adani was a good company. Adani was a good company. What's up with the news?
But clearly a stock we're watching closely. Billionaire Gautam Adani and 7 other senior executives indicted by the Justice Department in connection with a scheme to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in bribes to Indian government officials to access solar energy contracts and efforts to conceal bribery schemes from U.S. investors. Now, fraud accusations were first came to light from short seller Hindenburg Research, which sent the stock in a free fall. Since then, it has rebounded, and we're watching Adani Enterprises here in overtime, but clearly a stock we're watching closely. Billionaire Gautam Adani and 7 other senior executives
All
indicted
right.
by the Justice
I have Mabry here.
Department in connection with a scheme to pay hundreds of
Mabry,
millions of
karibu.
dollars in bribes.
Mabry, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yes, go ahead. Endelea. Ruto ametuambia ata stop corruption, kutakuwa na performance sijui nini, the usual nonsense that he usually says. So he's promising us heaven, corruption itaisha, watu watashikwa, blah 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 blah. Endelea.
Sina shida na Ruto, niko na shida na mwenye anamwamini. Anyway,
Yeah.
good thing. For me, like sijamsikiza, like I've not had the time to listen to the entire shenanigan because I know Ruto lies. But no, from the bit where nimesikia, and I want to speak about the Adani thing. Because people right now they are celebrating nini. Hata umeona MPs wakimuita Igwe juu ya story ya Adani.
Those MPs need to be arrested, all of them.
Aki, please, they need to. Anyway, 2 things zimefanyika leo which I want to bring to your attention.
Yes.
The news of Adani being indicted somewhere in US, that was the news, eh?
Yes.
In Kenya, it break this morning. So, the first thing, we all knew kuna hii nini presidential address on the state of the nation. But earlier on, actually before aongee, CS wa nini alikuwa alisamoniwa, CS wa energy Opiyo Wandayi, na akasema yeye hana any communication, like they did their due diligence and everything, and the Adani deal is going on. It's on record, unaweza angalia maybe hizo clips akisema Adani deal is going on. So there is nothing like wao kusimama kama Adani wamekuwa na issue na US. For the Kenyan nini, they did their due diligence. They even went to India. They confirmed everything. This is now between Adani and the US government, not between Adani and Kenya. Actually, that's what he said. And now Ruto.
Continue. I'll continue. There's actually a
Please,
law in Kenya. Kuna law in Kenya that it prevents just the mere fact that wako na hiyo shida na US. That's enough to halt the deal, because I think the PPP Act in a state that you cannot do a business with somebody who have been
Yeah.
Endelea tu nitaionyesha kwa screen.
Yeah.
Endelea.
But now, okay, that was Opiyo Wandayi earlier this morning. Now Ruto comes na anasema amecancel story ya Adani. Now I'll take you back to story ya nini ya finance bill. Ruto cancelled finance bill. What happened?
Exactly.
It came back. Now unataka nini hii story kwanza? This is a bill yenye unasema the law actually.
Nilikuwa nataka kuonyesha public-private partnership hapo under section 41 hapo B, I think it says it is not correct. Is not hiyo company ambayo wanataka kufanya nayo deal should not be corrupt, has not engaged in acts of corruption, and has not been sued or convicted on account of acts of corruption. Alafu hapo hii inasema has not and its directors or officers have not been convicted of any criminal offense related to professional conduct within a period of 5 years preceding the submission of the proposal, and have not otherwise been disqualified pursuant to administrative suspension or debarment proceeding. Now, they can argue that they haven't been convicted or anything, but the fact that they are indicted and indicted means you are being convicted, not convicted, but accused of corruption in New York. That alone is enough for Kenyans to get out of this thing based on this law right there. But go ahead, Nani Mabri Pole.
Now, I think both pronouncements from the CS and the president zina contradict because what informs the president's decision right now, I thought it should have been a collective report from the CS of transport and CS of energy, you get. That should be informing his decisions right now. For him coming in nini na kusema ati I'm cancelling this, you know, inafaa kuraise eyebrows. Either Ruto askizagi ama is not in the same page na Opiyo and I. Now, the other thing, when we talk of doing due diligence, history ya Adani na US, si ati US wameamka leo wakasema ati Adani you are wrong nini, we accuse you. There have been ongoing cases and actually history I remember we covered it ilikuwa 2022 whereby nini zao they were accused of manipulating their stock. And there have been cases ongoing until today. Now the US nini court ime pronounce their stand. Ruto comes to tell us walikuwa ifanya due diligence. Kwani hata ChatGPT ukiandika tu Adani nini cases itakuletea tu. So what due diligence did they do? Why did they need kutoka hapa kwenda India kuuliza about Adani where na tunaona everything online? In fact, they want to tell us that now we have much information than the president. Nana receive NIS reports on daily basis. Mchezo wa town. Hiyo ni mchezo wa town.
So wacha nikuulize na maandamano inaendelea namna gani? Because tunafaa kuwa na maandamano. Hali ya maandamano ilifika wapi?
Oh, yeah, nilikuwa tao. Actually watu walikuwa wameplan, but now the rains kidogo zikadisrupt maandamano. Mi hapo ndio nilitoka tao nikamwacha nikimbie home. But kumekuwa na heavy rains tao by the way from morning.
Okay, so mambo bado kumetulia tu.
Yeah. I'm here to receive any reports about what's happening in town. But now, something else I wanted to bring to your attention maybe. Unaona about the Adani deal, mtu anaipraise actually na mtu anafikiria Ruto is working by cancelling the Adani deal. First of all, we should ask ourselves, hii deal ilitoka wapi?
Right.
You get? Tulijua kupitia mlango wa nyuma, like it was a leakage by someone who is not even, you get? The government through Ruto and the CS wakadinai hakuna deal kama hiyo until we come to realize it is there. Less than a week ago, Chirchir alikuwa tena amesamoniwa Senate. He went there to defend the same Adani deal akisema how the government has been working. So it has been a series of lies. But now that the US nini may have a stand on this, now all of a sudden now the due diligence yenye tuli collect, it is now rubbish.
Right.
Now, something I want to ask, unajua this presidential nini, this state address is supposed to reflect on what Ruto has done for a period of one financial year. From last June to the last time he had an address in parliament and until now, what he has done. Now, you want to tell me, ulituletea Adani, utupigane, like ushaiona kurushiwa kipindi. Mpigane, muongee, then I cancel it. So in an entire year, he's done nothing in that sector.
Right.
We need to look at things as they are. This guy I expected ataongelelea nini story ya SHA. Because that has been within this period. hiyo ni kitu hajaguzia, ndio. And
Mhm.
by the way, siku hizi hii sha inaitwa shakaola because inaua watu. Now, another thing I expected maybe ataongelelea stories of abduction.
Mhm.
Has he said anything? And there's something interesting maybe people might be missing. Unaona ile time ya maandamano ya Gen Z.
Mhm.
Unakumbuka kuna makarao tu walikuwa nakam wamejifunika macho, they come they shoot people, then there was some allegations that they come from Uganda. You remember? Because
Yes.
apparently Kenyan police walikuwa wamekataa kushoot watu wao.
Mhm.
There is this Ugandan opposition nini aitwa Obasanjo ama ni
Basige or something. Basige yule
eh,
amekuwa abducted, alikuwa Nairobi or something.
imagine aliabdakiwa Nairobi
Mhm.
na akaenda kuchajiwa Uganda
Mhm.
on allegation ati alikuwa na two nini illegal firearms.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so jiulize, this guy came all the way to Nairobi using JKIA, wakamclear because alikuwa na attend book launch ya nani
Martha
ya
Karua.
Martha Karua.
Mm.
Then anashikiwa Kenya, of which we have our own laws. By any chance huu mtu angekuwa na illegal firearms angechajiwa Kenya in a Kenyan court for holding illegal firearms in our country.
Mhm.
But by the fact that alitransportiwa, kwanza alipotea, then kidogo akafikishwa nini mahakamani huko.
Mhm.
What does that tell you? As a nation tuko fucked up, inamaanisha hata hizi abduction. Now the CS asubuhi akiongea, I listen to whatever alikuwa anasema kwa media akiongelelea hii story ya visa. Now that we are using I guess one visa, like mtu anaweza toka Uganda ingie Kenya, unaweza toka Kenya in the, you know, within the East African, ati
Mhm.
they cannot tell mtu anaingia Kenya anakuja kufanya activities gani. Then I'm like, kama huo ni opposition leader wa country ingine mwenye anashikwa,
Mhm.
what of a Kenyan mwananchi, like a normal as Kenyan citizen, are we safe?
No, we are not.
We are safe. Then again it raises the question of the Kenyan police role yao ni gani, because I'm yet to understand who are these people abducting. It is Ruto who encouraged watu kuja kwa street makarao na
Yeah.
nini na nguo za raia. Makarao kuja nini kwa street na masks. Si ilikuwa hapo.
Yeah.
It was him who encouraged. So,
Mhm.
yeye nakwambia whatever is happening it is of his own making, of which wezi niambia karao mwenye anajua kitu anataka kufanya. Like if I want to arrest you, if I'm a police officer, why should I need to wear a mask unless I'm protecting something with intent to harm?
Yep. Yep. See, according to Martha Karua anatuambia reports ambayo yeye anapata, hao watu wanachinja watu na wana detain watu. It's a group of mercenaries from other countries, most likely Uganda, na top military officials from one tribe, most likely Ruto's tribe, ambao wameformi hii group ambao unaona wanajifunga macho na wanatak watu, wanaabduct watu and they take them to different places. And I say this, hii ni tactic ambayo ilikuwa inatumiwa na CIA in South America kitambo. You know, walikuwa na easy group murder squads or whatever the case is, whether it was in Guatemala or Chile. They used to do this. Henry Kissinger alikuwa anatuma pesa, anatuma dona, wanafanya hizi kwa streets, wanahaya watu, military officers. So opposition ikianza kuleta moto to speak against the puppet government of the day, wanakuja wanachotwa, they wanna disappear, or wanakuwa tortured or something like that. So the same playbook iko hapa. But Ruto's government, I'd say it's not as strong as we might think. Ndio maana unaona hii maandamano wanataka they are trying everything. Hata hii mvua mi nafikiri it's so funny, Mabri. It's so funny that I was listening to mama Mumbai or something, mama Mumbai ati Mumbai I forgot to mama uitwa nani who wanna make videos. Alikuwa nasema jana before the rain kulikuwa na joto wengine kali sana. Okay? And then today the day for maandamano mvua ndio hiyo inanyesha. So, and we all know about unajua unaweza kumanipulate weather saizi. I mean, there's basically you can't manipulate weather. Unaona vile watu wa Saudi Arabia, UAE walikuwa na manipulate weather where they can cause wanna shoot was it ions or whatever the case is to the atmosphere ambayo inafanya mawingu inakusanyika alafu mvua inanyesha. So these are things that can be done. I mean, you can basically, whether it's snow or this is something that inaitwaje weather something. Okay, so ndio maana watu wanajiuliza what a coincidence, kuile watu wamepanga kwenda maandamano ndio saa mvua inaanza kunyesha hivi. So these people are scared of wanaogopa hii maandamano because wamejua ile maandamano itakuwa successful the next time ya occupy parliament might result to kutoa Ruto. So go ahead.
Say we don't want to occupy parliament, we just want to occupy our nation. Because tumeona tukiachia the MPs, they are not making decisions which are popular to us, or rather which favor the mwananchi. They wana favor mifuko yao, the president as well. Now umesema kitu very important at Ruto's government is not as strong as we think. I've been saying that all this time. Like Ruto's government has never been strong. Ni vile tunauziwa a fear, you get, or rather there is that narrative that this guy is a dictator. I'll tell you something yenye inafaka Ruto sahi and people cannot see it. Unaona hii kiti ya nini CS of Interior right now is regretting kuchuja nani hapo. It is the worst time actually. Hata angetafuta another candidate.
Nani ni CS of Interior saizi? By the way,
hakuna, bado haja appoint. The seat is still vacant.
Ilikuwa ya nani before?
Kindiki.
Okay, yes. Yeye ameenda kwa vice president or deputy president. Okay, yeah. Now
there's a lot of internal fights which you cannot see. Ndio unaona Ruto, I'll give you 3 scenarios zenye zinaonyesha is not in communication with these people, ama there is maybe mali kuna some barrier. One, you remember the bishop's attack when it was not an attack, the bishop's statement. Who was supposed to respond to that?
State House, whatever, State communication, House, weather. At weather.
That is, the government spokesman who is
Mwaura sinasikia wamemtoa WhatsApp group.
Exactly. Now, this is what happened. The next day, we see the people responding right now. It is the likes of Sholei, Murkomen, and Sudi. Those are people from one community.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why you saw the news of Mwaura being removed from WhatsApp groups and everything, it is because he's being accused of not being able to communicate. Like on that issue of bishops, he did not issue a statement. He waited for individual ministries to speak. So that's one thing inaonyesha Ruto at some point ako cornered.
Yes.
Ya pili sini ya leo whereby Wandai speaks this.
And he's speaking a different one.
I expected, as a president, he should have called a cabinet meeting this morning. You get. Then after that, he proceeds to parliament. But now, once he is here being interviewed by the Senate, I don't know where are the rest, but it shows at least there's some fallout. Now, with this seat of Interior, You saw Junet Mohammed and the ODM people, the likes of Kaluma, they are saying like we deserve that seat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you in your right mind as a president, why would you give the most powerful seat? Because between, if you ask me, between the cabinet secretary of interior and the vice presidency, I would the CS of interior is a bit powerful. If you control
Okay.
that, okay, because look at the aspect of security, you know, like during Maandamano, if you give this seat to Junet, and then Baba fails the AU, and Junet says, we take over the government, you know, he's the CS of Interior, and at that point, he'll be commanding forces. You cannot risk to do that. Now, ODM are demanding, if you don't give us that, you impeach the Speaker of the National Assembly, you give us that.
Wow.
So umeona mahali shida iko.
Shida iko, lakini mtu yoyote naingia kwa hii serikali ya Ruto anajinyonga kisiasa, because this is a sinking ship and it's sinking very fast. I mean, this Adani story itaenda for the next 1 week, for the rest of the weekend mpaka next Monday. Sijui Monday kisanga gani itakuja tena, but
I'm expecting now Chirchir, with all that kiburi, to come in public and tell us that because of the international relations, now that Adani were found guilty by the US court, our due diligence tumeona by the way haifai.
na nani pia kuja to a statement, Raila ako Benin saizi, sijui
Exactly.
akuja sema sina alituambia nini ni Adani ni kampani nzuri.
Exactly. Sasa we want now hizo receipts zikam, you know, wanajikaranga tu wenyewe. And now these guys speak ati naona watu wakisema Ruto amecancel Adani. Me, I'll credit Kenyans for this because number one, it was a Kenyan who revealed to us about Adani. It was not an MP, it was not a CS.
Yeah.
When they were busy denying, he akatoa receipts. Now, no. Kenyans,
yeah,
it was the same Kenyans wenye tulienda kotini. You get? The backup ya LSK ikakam, and now other interested parties. Purely, uliona ile virtual nini proceeding ya court about Adani. Kenyans tuliingia hapo tukasema Adani must go.
Yeah.
So for you to credit Ruto for cancelling that deal, by the way, you are very confused.
Right.
I'm sorry to say. Ni wa Kenya.
Yes.
Ruto was for it because it is evident. Everyone in the government was for it.
Kwa walishalipa. Sina nasemekana Ruto ndio Adani ndio ilimlipia ile private jet ya kwenda US.
Wacha arudishe hiyo pesa.
So kitu naona vile tu nimesema it's funny how because one thing we have to ask ourselves is why is Wandai saying one thing and Ruto saying another thing? If there's no communication between those two people, that's a problem. But what I suspect is this: internally, Ruto and his cohorts around your executive branch of his government, au wameamua wataendelea na hizo stories za Adani, whether it's Ketrako and all this nonsense, hata kama ni JKIA. But in public, Ruto atatoka atasema, based on the news that we've had kwa ninio, because he knows that's what's trending right now in Kenya, Adani being indicted in the US. So he'll come out in public and say your story ishe, but atafanya tu vile ulikuwa nasema. And this the very example we were using ya finance bill. What happened to finance bill? Sina alikuja reshuffle wakora alafu atakuwa nini, alafu akasema ati nimesikia there's voices of the people, I've heard your voices, lakini akaileta tena kwa njia njia ingine ya ninio ya ujanja, and I think that's the same thing he will do. Amekuja in public atasema okay, I've heard these voices of the church members. Ukitaka kujua ni muongo vile, when these church members came out, the Catholic Church, and spoke against him, if he was honest, angesema hapo aseme okay, after they've spoken aseme okay, I've heard your ninio, I'll respond accordingly. Lakini alianza kuwapinga first.
Yes.
Alafu akaona hiyo kuwapinga is creating more backlash. Alafu sasa akaanza kujifanya ati okay, nimesikia maninio yenu sijui nini. So you see, so ameona hapo news, it's trending right now, Adani na kuwa indicted. So what he'll do, wataenda kuform ka company fulani.
And I think at some point, Kenyans, he knew Kenyans are expecting him to speak on the matter.
Yes.
So you feed Kenyans what they want to hear.
Exactly. And the idiots, those parliamentarians who naona vile wanapiga makelele, wanashangilia. That's why ndio maana nakwambia their intention, the real intention, in my opinion, is what Wandai was telling us, which is tutaendelea mbele. Because Wandai amesema nini? You know, it was shocking. If I was there, I could have stoned him. Wandai is saying ati hii kitu tulifanya due diligence yetu, hatukuona kitu mbaya, so sisi tutaendelea tu mbele na hiyo. Na hiyo shida ni ya US or whatever the case is, so we shall just go on with it, regardless of the news that is heard. Maybe he hasn't read the PPP Act, which he needs to read again, that part that has been highlighted. But it was shocking for Wandai to say that ati hiyo iendelee tu. Senior kesi inaendelea na nani? Na Gachoka na wengine. When is it going? Is it January or December? Somewhere.
I think it's somewhere in January.
Yeah, I think it's January 23rd. There's so many cases going in January. Kuna January ya hiyo kesi ya Adani, na kuna January ya Gachagua. Hii January na kuna mambo mingi hii January.
There has also been a petition.
Mm-hmm.
I think imekuwa somewhere Feb to recall Ruto as a president. Like, we elected you to work for us, but so far decisions we make, 90% they are not in favor of Kenyans.
And they are unconstitutional.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of hope with the judiciary we have. You just know, in fact, Koome has been, hiyo pia imeletwa, kuna kesi nyingine. The head of LSK is accusing JSC, Justice what commission? Naitwaje? Justice Service Commission, something like that, which is headed by Koome, basically, for, what was it? I think it's mambo ya corruption pia. The petition has just been made, was it today or yesterday? I just saw it on the news. So, I mean, the justice, the judiciary is also tainted. So that's why I'm saying hii mambo ya kupeleka Ruto kujaribu kumtoa kwa ninio kuimpeach, it's not going to work. All the arms of government are compromised.
But you know, as much as we know it's not going to work, at some point it's a way of kuchanua wananchi. You get? We know it's not working, but the idea of this, it can be done. You get? It's like more of what the Gen Z did. We were in that aspect of under this government you cannot ashachukua Raila hata amwezi andamana, but the Gen Z, by the virtue of them presenting the idea to wananchi, saa hii umeona ni institutions ngapi zinaandamana without even having to be called out by the politicians.
Yeah, but to be fair to those institutions, institutions, to be fair, they were mandamanaing even before ODM. But go ahead.
Yeah, but you get there have been a lot of people wenye wamekuwa wakijua for maandamano to happen in Kenya lazima ikue communicated by 1, 2, 3. Now you also saw for the first time by then nimeona all religious leaders wameunite from Muslim community. Juzi I saw ABC bishops wakisema they are going to call upon nationwide prayers to cut this government.
Hata Wakorino wametokezea leo.
To cut this government if they don't change.
Yeah.
So you see, as much as we know it's against the biblical aspect to wish someone ill, but it is like you are directly communicating to that person, umwonyeshe tumekasirika. We can even go to this extent.
Mm-hmm.
So mimi, I'm open to the ideas. And juzi unakumbuka nikikwambia peace in this nation inapea gava stress more than anyone else. You see mahali wako sahi.
Yeah.
Because pastors wanatokea wanaishi tu their peaceful statements,
Yeah.
inakoroga kukoroga, you get.
Yeah. Mwanzo
Juzi,
hao mapasta wamemtetesha sana. Endelea.
yes, he needs to. Na you know, right now anajua akijaribu, because it is very possible ataleta hii debate ya religious leaders na political leaders, you know, focus on religion, spiritual matters and nini. But now he knows, because I've detected that debate of political leadership and spiritual leaders. You know, it is like they are trying to tell pastors, wewe nyinyi stikini kwa mambo ya Mungu. But he knows if he harmonizes that tune, he's done. Because this guy came in 2022 na story ya Asla, maasla walikuwa wengi.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easier to buy to his narrative. Now, akijaribu kugo against any religion, and I'm telling you, I think 80% of Kenyans are religious, whether Muslim, Christians, and other denominations.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is done, and I'm telling you, kitu itapitisha huyu jamaa 2027. Kitu itampitisha, by the way, ni miujiza kutoka kwa shetani, because hata ya Mungu haezi pata.
Miujiza kutoka kwa shetani.
Juu ya Mungu haezi pata.
Hey, ati miujiza kutoka kwa shetani. Sijasikia hizo miujiza.
No, I'm just saying like it is like second to impossible.
Yeah. I mean, I get, I understood you say it.
Because hata
Ni funny.
ukiangalia
Mm.
being in this nation right now, unaona vitu
Mm.
wanafanya and juzi umeona wakidiscuss nini za Morara Kebaso, all parliament. This guy anatuonyesha mahali pesa ya corruption inaenda, and parliamentarians go and discuss how he should be audited.
Ai.
Our
Hatuna.
Senate, like, okay, I thought wanafaa nao Morara akionyesha there is mahali affordable housing ilifika ikaachwa, sio ni pesa wa Kenya. Wanafaa wa someone who was responsible wamlete. For them they are talking of, there is this young man Morara Kebaso, hizi vitu anafanya, you know, we need to audit him. I've never known that you can fundraise to do campaigns. Ukisikiza vitu zinafanyika Kenya utachoka, my bro.
Wacha nikupeleke nyuma. There's an interesting nini nataka usikie. There's interesting speech nataka usikie hapa. Ujaribu usikasirike sana. Ni rafiki yako hapa.
I have a chance to interact with the PPP proposals in question. It is my duty to state what I know about them. When I was the Prime Minister of Kenya, I was introduced to the company and its activities by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while he was then the Chief Minister of the state of Gujarat. Indeed, Prime Minister Modi organized for a Kenya government mission to visit Gujarat, and I had the opportunity to visit this company's infrastructure projects in that state that included a port, a power plant, a railway line, and an airstrip developed out of what was a swamp donated by the government of India. I'm talking about a Adani group of companies. I also visited the city of Mumbai to see the electricity projects set up by the company, where it serves over 13 million consumer meters in metropolitan Mumbai and the industrial hub of Mundra Special Economic Zone. Adani Energy Solution Limited has a cumulative transmission network of 21,783 circuit kilometers of power transmission lines and 61,687 megavolts ampere transmission capacity. The company owns more than energy infrastructure than Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania combined. And I'm only saying that there need to be transparency in dealing with these issues. Otherwise, you're likely to try to condemn very reputable companies. As you see stories like Adani did. Adani corporate is worth over $200 billion. It cannot be an Adani gate.
It's worth more than $200 billion. They cannot be a Danigate. A Danigate Gani. They have money. So in his reasoning, if a company is worth a lot of money, it cannot be corrupt because it has a lot of money. So it cannot be a Danigate.
Actually, unajua, I'm listening to Baba speaking and I'm like, yeah, this is now the due diligence yenye nini wako nayo. Actually, that is the due diligence they did. Kuna kitu Baba amekuambia yenye ujui. This guy, there is nothing like, unajua, when we talk of due diligence, apart from the historical bit yenye ametupea, akatuambia how much they are worth, we need to look beyond that for us to decide whether they are worth investing in our airports or not. But now you can't come here and I tell you, I'm Brian Marbury. I'm worth over 100,000.
Nini mbaya na we lost you.
Sorry, mnanipata sasa?
Ulikuwa nasema, yeah, your Marbury, you're worth more than...
Oh, yeah, I was saying, like, I cannot just come and tell you, my name is Marbury, and I'm worth over 1,000 followers. Now give me, I want to come to your channel, I take over. Wewe unajua vile umesumbuka, I should also tell you my weaknesses, my strengths, because what is called SWOT analysis should inform the due diligence. But now, wewe unakuja hapo unatuambia they did this, and now Raila is good at mentioning name. Gautama Adani na Narendra Modi, you get?
Yeah.
Ndio to feel he has that way of speaking names. Hata ukimsikia sometimes akiongea, he will always pull back some names za wale wazee walikuwa kitambo, hata wengine walikufa. My father did this. He has that way, nini. But that should not inform us to give Adani our airport. No,
right.
Kuna kitu important umesema, and that is my biggest fear. Watanyamazisha hii story hapa juu, like they speak in public, but now chini ya maji we had the intelligence that Adani washaanza kuassume operations in airport zitasimama right now.
Probably not.
Who will refund the investment? Because by Ruto's pronunciation, it renders everything illegal yenye washaifanya hapa Kenya. Nani atawalipa?
Yeah.
Now, another alternative which naona ikifanyika, because in Ruto's speech amesema, Adani deal will be cancelled and will explore other options. Wanaweza amua kugo the nani way, anaitwa Uhuru. Let me bring our former president hapa. watengeneze a pseudo company, you know, operate under nini Adani. It will be the
Yes.
same thing, but now wataanza kutuambia, you know, these are local nini, kwa some funny guys here wenye hata they are not worth the money. Na wapeane.
Yeah. And I suspect that's what will happen because walishachukua hongo, so giving back that hiyo pesa mingi, especially if they have spent it already, itakuwa ngumu.
Me, I feel like everything was set up. It was because the mention of Adani sparks a lot of nini in public agitation and resentment. Like Ruto would not be so stupid to go on with the project. I feel like alikuwa shaanza hizi mikakati and he was very strategic. So perhaps his decision is not informed by the US findings. Hizi ni michezo za town walikuwa washaamua.
Anyway.
Okay.
No, ulikuwa unasema kitu.
Nilikuwa natoa nini disclaimer, sichukii Ruto, napenda nchi yangu.
Yeah, okay. sina kuongeza. Sita comment hapo, but yeah, Ruto vile tu umesema, we'll just see how it plays out. Anyway, sijui niongeze nini, but anyway, there's a lot of news, what people are reacting. Naona nani wakina Martha Karua hapo wanaandika kitu, Kalonzo pia na express hizi maneno, so just another news ambayo niliona before we go to, kabla tujatoka Adani. I mean, it's not Adani related, but niliona rafiki yetu alishambuliwa. Unajua yeye ndiye aliamua kusema kweli, alafu akaanza kumshambulia. Sijui kama uliona
Huyu ni Salasia. Hapa ni nani?
So huyo ni Peter Selassie. Selassie ni kama he's now used to his Royal Rumble kind of fights. Every time he wants to speak, I remember when alislap mtu, ilikuwa nani alislap some MCA somewhere. But anyway, this attack was due to matamshi yake ambayo alitoa ya Raila Odinga. Vile alikuwa anasema Raila wache kusema mambo ya CDF na ametuma ma MPs wake to help Ruto and all that. So alikuwa anaongea mahali alafu akavamiwa. So but wananchi walikuwa na yeye walisema wacheni aongee, he has to speak, he has the right to speak.
Hata nikuambie kitu, I think that shows you the true image of Baba. Actually, that's how Baba operates. Ukiongea against Baba, yeye utuma goons. I'll give you an example. Unakumbuka Kalonzo? Just the other day Kalonzo akienda kuissue statement before hii juzi na nini Nairobi hii ndio Baba afanye hii nini broad based government after maandamano tu. They were going to issue a statement goons wakatokea wakasema ongea. In fact akanyang'anywa mic na wakaoccupy the place. You remember?
Nilikuwa nafikiri hiyo ilifanyika Kisumu. Yes, it was after Ninio.
No, it was Nairobi.
It was in Nairobi, eh?
Yes, it was in Nairobi.
Okay.
No, Baba has always been operating that way. Like you speak against him na anatumao goons wake. You get? Na that should not intimidate anyone. Hata nikwambie, Salasia has a right. Na sikufichi, the way that guy spoke, nilikubaliana naye 100%.
Yeah.
Because hata wewe nikuulize, why would you speak against what you are supporting? The Baba we know unafikiria, anyway, although the Baba we know amekuwa tu conman, but during that conmanship image, do you think angesupport stories za Adani?
Baba angesupport kama hangekuwa conman hangesupport, but ni conman.
No, bado angesupport, tungeenda kwa streets because anataka kugain popularity nini, you get?
Oh yeah, kama angekuwa broad based government. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
But now for Baba to attack someone like Salasia, it shows the level of intimidation amego. Babu Owino, umeona Babu ameanza kutisha kukamna new party. Watch it.
Amekuja mtu akisema ati ameform a new party. Is it true?
No. Aliint.
Alisema nini?
Alipost alipost picture, apost ya 2027 and then caption yake ilikuwa 2027 kutakuwa kubaya. I think so. But now kitu inasemekana it is a new party. You know, si unajuaga the normal colors za ODM. For him ilikuwa some sky blue color. Alafu the icon ya party ilikuwa hii mkono ukuwa ya inakuwaga human rights, then chini imeandikwa TBIM.
Wow.
So people started thinking or rather speculating ameform a new party. But then me, I'm well informed of the fact that he's been looking for a new party. You know, I have like evidence. Although hapa kunaweza kuwa watu wa Baba waenda wamwambie kijana. But anyway, it is there. Siashatishia anyway. And this guy, by the way, kama kuna mtu anawapea headache ni Babu Owino.
By the way, Babu Owino akitoka ODM, I think ODM itakuwa ina youth. Because I think the young people, they're hanging on ODM kwa sababu ya Babu Owino.
Exactly. You remember, we had this conversation here. Tukiulizana Babu Owino akitoka ODM, atakuwa na life. Nikakwambia Babu Owino has a future beyond ODM. And then there was another guy, sijui ilikuwa, I think Kip, akisema ati nani akitoka ODM ataisha. You remember?
Yeah.
I think right now mnaona ground imeanza kuwa line proper.
This
guy wanamuita mahali, hawataki kumpea chance. Wananchi ndio wana demand.
Yeah. It will be interesting. This is an interesting comment hapa ya Chief Negus anasema, and now there's potentially a new scandal loading. Kenya National Museums of Kenya might end up handing over all our precious historical artifacts and fossils to the Smithsonian. That will be a tragedy.
I will look to it, maybe.
Yeah,
yeah, but it's a good information. Ama kwani Ruto ameonekana museum? Unajua huyu mtu ukimwona mahali unajua eti inaenda.
Ruto ukimwona kwa nyumba yako ujue nyumba yako karibu kuuzwa.
Wewe unajua alitembelea Nairobi National Park. The other time nikasikia fisi zinauma watu Thika Road. Nikashangaa zilikuwa zinaenda wapi.
By the way, kuna hii, is it Star? Kuna hii media ambayo imekuwa raided leo kwa sababu wako they are in I forgot the name of it. I just read it. Is it the Star something? One of the media companies, it owed money to someone. The whoever they borrowed the money from. Na nika, you know, the wale watu waliwaloan pesa walikuja wakaanza kuchukua I think it's the Star newspaper or something like that. Wakakuja wakaanza kuchukua mashini and everything. I forgot which. I think it's this. Yeah.
I'll check kwa hiyo news, but what I know, Star wamekuwa under nini scrutiny for a while na gava imekuwa inaweka kwa rada yao vibaya sana.
Oh yeah, okay. So maybe that might be a reason. But hey, anyway, wacha mi nimalize the first session hapa. Maybe nitakuja evening. By the way, I'll be out for a minute, for ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Mashuguli zinashikana huku, but I will try every time I have a chance to, you know, keep it going. But you know, nitakuwa mashuguli. So if you don't see me for a while, I'll always be posting a video, at least someone post kitu inaendelea, kwa sababu msaizi vile tunasemanga hapa wakina Ani na Jeep, sio nasema syllabus inaenda speedy sana. Hii syllabus ya Kenya. I like that say. But yeah, inakimbia kweli. Yeah. So guys, msiponiona here for a while, just sijapotea, niko tu area shughuli tu na maisha inashikana. Here ndio chief anasema there was a video I saw yesterday on the Wall Street Journal YouTube channel. Wazungu Richard Leakey daughter and other Westerners did a piece on the corruption and poor handling of artifacts at the museum. Yes, unajua Kenya people don't take serious things like this. No, ukienda Europe, museums are like everywhere. They really like their history. Okay, they don't want anyone to or forget their history. Lakini sisi, instead of kuchunga history yetu, sisi tuna sawa basi. Mabri, thank you so much for joining. Mabri, tutaonana baadaye. Thanks so much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, thank you for joining this morning session. I might come in the evening, but just for your FYI, ladies and gentlemen, I won't be as coming in every day as usual. Life imeshikana, but tajaribu at least, here and there nikikuja. So put your notification on, subscribe, like, share, comment. Ndio sasa nikiingia, you get the notification na mnaingia. So if you don't see me for a while, I'm around. It's just my timetable it's squeezing, so it's hard to really get time to come up here and spend a lot of time. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. Like I say, subscribe, share, like, comment, and do all the good stuff. Share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next session. I'm namna gani. I want to personally thank everybody. Yes. Thank you so much, Gypsy, thank you so much. Chief Negus Pia, thank you. Atticus Pia, Principal Kaur kama kawaida, thank you so much. Mabri ambayo who was here, it's the chief analyst wetu. Another one who wasn't here was Wangira. I know he's probably caught up, but thank you so much. Shi Miriam, asante sana for joining me. I'm not for Elisha Owiti pia alikuwa hapa hivi. Thank you so much. Nawashukuru nyote. Please keep the subscription up. If you're watching me on X, come to my YouTube channel and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Put your notification on so I come in. Like I said, I won't be able to come in every day, but for the few times that I'll have time, I'll always join him. I'll be here. So please make sure you subscribe and get your notification on so you can find me and join the fun, join the party, right? Hopefully by then, Ruto atakuwa hajauza kila kitu. But thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. Peace and blessings, and be safe out there. Peace.